Hey there you guys, welcome back. Well, we're going to do a haul video. Over the last couple of days I have been on a plant buying spree. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the fall and I just want some more green in my life. But right now is a really bad time to shop for plants for me because I have a lot of plants outside that need to find their way inside in the next coming weeks. So right now my grow room looks empty. But give it a couple of weeks and it is going to be full to the brim and I won't know what's going on. I won't have space for anything and yeah, I'm going to be crying for space soon. So, but I just, that whole table is what I bought. So we'll go through it all. These are what I got in the last couple of days, but there's a couple that I wanted to show you that I bought over the summertime and they're just new and noteworthy plants of mine. I bought a whole bunch more, but I just couldn't decipher whether I got them this summer or if you had already seen them in a video. So we're gonna basically go over the ones I got the other day. So anyway, we're gonna start off with this one. This one I've had for a few months, and this one is the Philodendron Imperial Green. It is beautiful. I can't even believe how it looks. The leaves are really big and beautiful. And it's already put out a couple of leaves for me, and we've got a new one on the way, as you can see right here. So absolutely love it. I wonder how this is going to grow. I have it growing upstairs. It's not in a window, but it gets afternoon sun. When the sun finally comes through, we have a transom window above the couch, and it beams through really, really strong late in the day. So it gets good light late in the day, but it really doesn't get a lot of light other than that. So, but it's doing good. So this guy, I try to let it dry out between waterings, but I just noticed as I brought it downstairs that the pot that it's in, the little catch pot, is it had water on the bottom, but I do have it lifted up, so it wasn't actually sitting in water. So that's my saving grace. Before I moved it into this pot, it was in a slightly smaller one, and it was sitting in about an inch of water, and I don't know how for how long. So I was worried that I would have root rot, but things seem to be fine. It's happy. It's putting out a new leaf, like I said, and that was probably a month ago that I noticed that. So it's doing what it's doing, and it's doing it okay. So I'm not worried about it. So that is the Imperial Green. Supposedly they get really, really big. Let's check out the next plant. So the next plant doesn't look so good. I actually got this one from Amazon, not Amazon, from Facebook Marketplace, and was a seller on there, and she had some little Orbifolias, Calathea Orbifolia, and as you might know, I don't know whether you're into these, but these guys are harder to find, and when I saw it, this was $10, and it had just the 3 leaves, 3 sprouts and 3 leaves. It has produced a new leaf for me, just one, but it really hasn't done very much. My other Calatheas are doing so much better, but let me know if there's any care tips. If it likes something a little bit different than the regular Calathea, you guys have seen some of the ones that I've been growing and I've added to the collection. I've been giving it a little bit more light. I had it with my other Calatheas. I've been giving it a little bit more light lately to see if that will charge it up a little bit. Still indirect light, but just brighter. So yeah, and I've been watering it with distilled water. This leaf was damaged when I got it, but I noticed that the new baby leaf here has some browning on it as well. So there's something not right. It could be something in the soil. It could be some remnants of fertilizer or something like that. But I've been using distilled water lately because I bought the water distiller. So hopefully I can start getting some growth. I also bought some organic fertilizer, a granular, so hopefully that will help out because I do want to fertilize them occasionally. I know that they don't need to be fertilized often, and if you do, it's a very weak fertilizer, so I was hoping to do a weak organic fertilizer a couple of times a year and just work it into the surface of the soil. And all of these get watered with the wicking system. So I put water in the reservoir and then I let the water soak up the string. So it's never sitting in water, but it's never dry either. So that's this one, the Calathea Orbifolia. Super beautiful plant when it doesn't have all kinds of damage on the leaves. So hopefully that will get corrected in time. The next plant I got from the same seller on the Facebook Marketplace, this is supposed to be a Maranta lemon lime. So I am really excited about this one, and I think I've been putting it in too little light. I have it in my bathroom upstairs around the tub, and I do have a big window, but it's sitting below the window. So it's not getting direct light. It gets bright indirect light, but because everything in the bathroom is kind of white, so it doesn't get great light. So I might end up moving it up into the window ledge. We have one of those window films, so that's going to take down the light intensity just like a sheer would. So yeah, we'll see. The leaves are getting a little bit smaller, so that kind of tells me that it might not be getting enough light. So we'll see. Anyway, this is supposed to be the lemon lime. What tells me it's the lemon lime is the long white margins, and then it will have a darker coloration to it. So I'll show you another one. I actually, in my plant purchases over the last couple of days, I bought another one of these in the color form that I really, really like. This one might give me that color form, but I didn't want to wait and see, because it could take a while. So let's get to the stuff I got yesterday, or over the last couple of days. So let's start with the Maranta. So it's the same thing. This one is a lemon lime. This one actually says lemon lime on it rather than just being a cutting. But as you can see, some of them are really, really dark. Like this one. This one is going to be, it's more full, the color. But then there are some that are exactly the same as that one. As you can see, this small leaf here and this leaf here, it's not all dark. So I'm hoping that it was just a one-off for this, and as I change the light levels, the color will change. But as you can see, it's going to have the dark color throughout and then the white veins. So this one's really, really exciting to me. I want to watch and see how it grows. I'm going to monitor this, and I'm going to monitor the other one, and hopefully they're the same plant. I would really enjoy to put them together and make a really, really nice full plant. So that was a nice find for me. Let's stay on the Calathea prayer plant family first. The next one is Calathea Zebrina. So this one is really, really pretty. Supposedly this gets to be a good size. Maybe not gigantic, but bigger than it is now. And I just think that these leaves are beautiful. I can't get over the markings on those. And I'm getting to know Calathea. I've had some for, I'm going to say, a little over 6 months, and I'm getting some spider mites and things like that. I'll do a Calathea video in the coming weeks or months just to show you how they're doing. Some of them not doing so well, some of them doing better than others. So I can't wait to show you that. But just getting to know the watering habits and light requirements. I've been playing with light requirements, and some of them require less light than others. So it's very interesting. So this one, I'll be very interested to see what it likes. I have a feeling because it doesn't have the purple bottoms that it's going to require a slightly higher light than the ones that do have the purple bottoms. So we'll see. We'll see. So that is the Calathea Zebrina. The next Calathea, super, super fun one. When this was at the garden center, all I could see was the top of the leaves, and the way that they're crinkled and undulating, they're just so pretty. It just stood out against the others. This one is Calathea Orbifolia, also known as the Velvet Calathea. I didn't realize until I got it home that there is a beautiful fuzz to it. I understand why they call it the Velvet Calathea, because it very much has a velvety feel to it. I'm not pressing on it very hard, but it's just very relaxing. I'm going to have this close by to where I sit, whether it's upstairs or whether it's down here, so that when I'm feeling a little stressed out, I could just give it a little pet, because it is phenomenal. The leaves are beautiful. There's a natural gloss to them. Even though they're fuzzy, they've got a natural gloss to them, and I think that that's really, really cool. So with Calatheas, they like to be constantly moist, but never wet. So you don't want to have them sitting in water, because they're going to develop root rot. But they don't want to ever dry out completely. So there's that happy medium, and you'll find it out with your own plants. how much water is too much water and how much water is not enough water. There's going to be times that you come downstairs or you're going to come into the room where this plant is and it's going to be collapsed because you went one day too long without giving it water. And that's a learning experience. I've already done that with my medallion Calathea. Yeah, I think I've done that twice with it. So you learn. You learn with these guys. So this one is the Euphorbia, and it's super cute. Another one, I'm done with the Calathea. This one was a little bit on my wish list. As if you remember my order from, is it ASEAN? Somebody told me how to pronounce it. In my video I was calling it Asin or Shan, but ASEAN, I believe, from Thailand. I was supposed to get one of these, but it was out of stock. And this is the Philodendron Goldie Eye, or the Thematophyllum, I think that's what it is, Sprucianum. So it's in the Philodendron group, the aroid group, and it reminds me, the leaf reminds me of the Dracunculus vulgaris. It reminds me of the outstretched wings of a bird, just like covering its head. It's so pretty, and this is a really healthy plant. I got this one actually in Guelph as I eat the leaf from Guelph at the Secret Garden boutique. So this one is a fun one. I had to make sure that she had some before I went for the drive because it's a little over an hour drive. So it's a pretty big commute, and I just wanted to make sure that there was something there that I wanted to purchase before I made that drive. So this one is super cool. Watering habits, or watering technique, I guess you would want to let it dry out almost completely before watering it. They don't want to be constantly wet. You want to give these bright indirect light. So a very well lit spot is great, but out of direct sun. However, I do hear that these guys can develop a thicker leaf and be able to tolerate more sun. And actually, these plants that are low light tolerant actually want to have more on the higher spectrum of light usually, with the exception of some Calatheas. Usually want to be in a brighter spot, and they grow better in a brighter spot, but they will survive in a lower light situation. So this is the Philodendron Goldie Eye, or the Thematophyllum sprucianum. I think I've also seen it as the Philodendron Fun Bun, which is really cool. So looking forward to seeing how this one grows over time. So what should we go to next? Oh, let's do this one. This one here is the Philodendron Imperial Red. So because I had the Imperial Green over here, I wanted to buy the red version, and I have a feeling the red version is not going to have the same leaf structure as the green version. This green version is so robust. The leaves are so wide. Even in the lower leaf, they're so wide. But in this red version, they're a little bit narrower, a little bit longer, but I'm okay with that. We'll see how it grows. I wanted to have the opposite. I wanted to have the red and the green. So it was on sale, so I thought, hey, why not? Let's put this in the darn cart. So I'm excited to see how this one grows. We've got a new leaf developing, and I'm having a problem with some of my easier to grow plants not having their leaves unfurl. So with these other ones, this one's growing fine. The green is growing fine, but I'll show you. I'll maybe do a video on some of the houseplants that are common and easy to grow, but aren't growing well for me. And it's been that way forever. I can't grow things. I have a really hard time with pothos. I have a really hard time with like the heartleaf philodendrons, the micans. Really hard for me. So anyway, we'll do that in another video. So that is the Philodendron Imperial Red. Again, you want to let them dry out almost completely before you water them again, and then really water them well, and then let them dry out again. And fertilizing in the growing months, you can fertilize them with like a half or quarter strength fertilizer each time you water. They would appreciate that. So there's that one. Let's do... I ended up buying another Adansonii, or Monstera Adansonii, because I'll show you in another video, but actually I'll show you now. My Adansonii, I put it outside, and it did not like it. So this is my Aglaonema. So that's why I bought another one. I just wanted to grow it out. I put it outside. It got too wet. I have a moisture retaining mix here. It's well draining, but there's sphagnum moss in here. So the sphagnum moss will hold on to the moisture. So in the springtime when I put it outside, it was raining a lot and it was staying very, very wet. It wasn't drying out, probably because the root system of this plant had not filled the pot yet. So if you're going into a bigger pot, it will take naturally a longer time for the soil to dry out. Once the roots have filled the pot, it will use up the moisture a lot better, but it hadn't gotten to that point yet. So I should have put it in a sheltered location where the rain couldn't get at it, but I didn't. And the stems are still green, so I just cut the tips back, and hopefully I will get some growth along the nodes. I'm not hopeful, but fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Aglaonema. It's one of those plants that most people can grow, but for whatever reason I have a hard time with. So next up, let's do, oh my god. So this is a Ficus Audrey. I forget what the scientific name is, the Latin name, but I believe I think this is the Indian banyan tree. And somebody had confirmed that with me, and I actually grew one of these from seed many years ago. If you follow my videos way back, I grew a Indian banyan seed, and now that I look at it, it does look the same. But the fun thing about this, and I didn't notice when I had it before, is that there's a slight fuzz to the leaf of the Ficus Audrey, and it's got a beautiful vein on the leaf as well, quite contrasting. And for whatever reason, I wish if I still had that ficus now, it would look so beautiful. It would be so big, I would hope, but I don't have much luck with ficus. So I have the Ficus elastica teneki, and it looks awful. It doesn't really grow, it doesn't die, but it doesn't grow, and the leaves are really looking rude, for lack of better words. I'll show you that one in another video. But yeah, hopefully this one grows better than the Ficus elastica. Me and ficus don't really have a good relationship. I don't know why. So there's that one. This one, again, with many ficus, you want to water them thoroughly, but then let them dry almost completely, and then water them thoroughly again. And fertilizing, whenever you're in the growing months, that should be adequate, with a half or a quarter strength fertilizer every time you water. Let's go to this one. This one's a fun one. I should have just started along the table, but I didn't. So this one, I'm new to the world of Aglaonemas. I used to grow them way back, like I think I had like a Silver Bay or something back in my teens, and I haven't really gone back to them. And then I bought that pink one that one of them died, and then I got a new one, and I think it was something Valentine. And so I'm new to them, and I'm really enjoying them. Again, they're supposed to be a lower light plant, so I need more lower light plants. And this one here is Aglaonema Chocolate. So as you can probably see, I'm not sure whether the light is pulling it in, but they're quite dark leaves, very dark green, and then on the back side they've got a beautiful pink veining, and they're just really, really pretty. This one jumped in my cart. I don't know how it got in there. Of course I know how it got in there. I'm crazy. So, but this one, because it's going to tolerate lower light, I think that it's going to do well in a darker corner of the house. Not a completely dark corner, don't get me wrong, but something in a little less light that another plant might not thrive in. So, and then with Aglaonemas, the good thing about them is they actually prefer to be left to dry out pretty well completely before you water them again. Root rot is the biggest thing for Aglaonema, and I have rotted out my share of Aglaonema before. So I'm learning from my mistakes. Make sure to water them very infrequently, and just monitor the watering. If it's light, give it a drink. If the leaves are flopping, give it a drink. But if it's looking happy, maybe just wait and let it do its thing. And it should tell you when the leaves feel a little bit limper. you'll get to know your plant. So anyway, this is the Aglaonema Chocolate. Super fun, super fun. Okay, let's go and do something a little bit different. This is something that I also got from the Secret Garden Boutique, and I found the name online. It's an agave patatum? Potatorum. So, and it's a Media Picta. Is that Media? Yeah, Media Picta. So the Media Picta, I believe, is just it's the reverse variegation. I can't talk today. I can't talk most days anymore. Where it's the green on the outside and then the white on the inside. I think it's beautiful. Look at how cute that is. Cover my face up. And yeah, this one, from what I'm reading, stays quite small. So I'm very, very excited about that because I don't have space, nor how do I say it? I get poked by agaves all the time, and I hate it. Smaller agaves are a little bit easier to avoid. The bigger ones, you tend to walk around a corner and get stabbed, and then you bleed, and it's awful. So this is super cute. Again, from the Secret Garden Boutique in Guelph. Let's go through the other plants I got from the Secret Garden Boutique. I got this one here. This one is a type of Euphorbia. This is, I believe it's called a devil's backbone, and I can see how that would be because look at the way that those leaves grow. It very much is like a spine with the ribs coming off. It's really crazy. So I'm new to this plant. I've never grown this one before. Actually, I don't know that I've seen it in the garden centers. I might have, but I haven't really paid attention. But for whatever reason, they just really spoke to me, and I had to get it. And now that I feel it, it feels very coarse, kind of like a sago palm. The fronds on a sago palm. They're very rigid. So that's a really cool plant. We'll grow this one together. I'm going to treat it like every other Euphorbia. Let it dry out pretty well completely, and then I will water it well. They don't want to be dry for too long, but you want to not let it sit in water. Euphorbia has so many different care requirements depending on the type that you're growing. Some don't ever want to dry out, but then some need to dry out. I guess it depends on whether it has a really lush leafy habit or whether it's more of a succulent habit. So yeah, things you learn. So another one that I got there is this one as I watered it and now it's sitting in water. This is a type of Peperomia. This one is Piccolo Banda, and I got this one. I'm actually, when I bought it, I had never seen this variety before, or I'd never paid attention to it before. After I bought it, I saw it in every one of the garden centers I went to. So it's really, really cool. I love the green and the red. Really, really interesting plant. And this one here, it's going to like bright indirect light, and it likes to be watered really, really well, and then let dry slightly before you water it again. But it would prefer to stay on the moist side. But again, just let it dry out a little bit and then give it a good water. So I bought 4 plants from the Secret Garden Boutique. All of them very, very cool. I really enjoyed going to the Secret Garden Boutique, actually. If you're in the Toronto area or in the Guelph area, I do recommend stopping by. She did tell me that the best plants are come out. She restocks every Saturday and Sunday. So there's some really interesting stuff there. I went on a Tuesday, so there was nothing like... It was slim pickings, but yeah, it is what it is. Try to go on the weekend. This one here I found at, if you're in the Welland area, Vermeer's Garden Center, and this was on the discount rack. What I have a feeling it is a Raphaedophora tetrasperma. There was a whole bunch in this particular pot, and they all looked very similar, but there was some with the cuts in the leaves, there was some without the cuts in the leaves. I opted to go with the one without the cuts in the leaves because I was really interested. This was only $4, so I thought I would just play a game with myself. I already have Raphaedophora, as you know, but if this is also a Raphaedophora, I don't care. I love it, and maybe I'll put them... I'm looking for something to put on either side of the fireplace, so maybe I'll have a Raphaedophora on both sides if this one is a nice little Raphaedophora. So, tetrasperma. It's a fun name to say. So looking forward to this. If you see the, if you know exactly what this is, and I'm wrong with Raphaedophora, let me know, and yeah, I'll rename it. Right now, we'll call it Raphaedophora. And what else do we got here? Oh, we got another Peperomia. This was angulata. I grew a Peperomia like this before, but the leaves were much more rigid. Like they felt like plastic. These ones feel like plastic too, but they were much more corrugated in their appearance. So I don't know if this is the same one or if it's different. And the other one grew in whorls, just like this one is growing in whorls. It's 3 leaves per node. So it's growing very similar, but it doesn't look the same. The other one, the leaves were probably twice as thick as these. So I really want to try to grow this one. For whatever reason, I'm starting into Peperomias again. When I was younger, I used to have a bunch, and then I stopped, and now for whatever reason I think they're coming back. I think it's because I'm hearing them all over on YouTube. So there's that, and I think now we're down to just the Sansevierias. So at Terra Greenhouses, if you're in the Burlington, Toronto area, you'll probably know of Terra Greenhouses, and I go there frequently, and they always have interesting things, sometimes more so than others. Back when I was collecting more orchids, they had a lot of orchids, and they would have a great variety. So today, or when I went there recently, they had a bunch of different types of Sansevieria. I've wanted a Sansevieria that looked like this for quite some time, but Sansevierias, you get the very common ones, the tall, slender leaf ones, Trifasciata, I think they're called, with the yellow stripe and all the varieties thereof, and the cylindricas are quite common. Nowadays you're seeing the starfish, or the bone cell Sansevieria, which is in the cylindrica group. But this one here is very different. This one is dragon wing, and I thought it was super cool, and I had to pick it up. It wasn't a terrible price. This was $20. So I love, the leaves are amazing. They kind of remind me of my samurai, sort of, but much more big and deeper. The lobe is huge, or the lobe, the little canoe inside. It's huge. So that one I really, really enjoy. I can't wait to grow that one. The next one, this one is Silver Nymph, they call it. I'm wondering, and if you're a Sansevieria expert out there, I'm wondering if this is a type of Francisii, and it's just got the silver hue to it. Because I do have the Francisii, and I think that this has a similar growing habit. I think it's going to grow tall and just continue along its tall growth and not necessarily put out too many side growths. But from what I understand, they will give you some rhizomes, but they're mostly going to grow tall. So that is the Silver Nymph. Very excited to see what happens with this one. And the other one that I got, this one was from the watering can, again if you're in the area. This one, I'm not sure what the name is, but look at all of the yellow in there. This is fascinating. It is so beautiful. It really lights up a room. If you have this in a dark corner of your home, because as you probably know, Sansevierias can tolerate low light. They actually prefer higher light. So what's going to probably happen if you put this in a lower light situation, it's going to go more green. If you're going to put it in a higher light situation, you're going to get more of the yellow color. And that's only in the new growth. Chances are, if it's already green and you put it out in the sun, it's not going to give you more yellow. The yellow spots that are already on it might get a little brighter, but you need to wait for the new growth to show you the true color after it's been in the brighter sun. So yeah, very excited about this one. I saw this a while ago and I almost bought it, and then I was telling people about it, and then as I was talking about it, I don't know what variety it is. I was like, oh, I should have purchased it. So anyway, the last time I was there, they had it, and I bought it, and not looking back, very happy about it. So this was my plant haul for the last couple of days. I don't know where I'm going to put all of these things. I hope I didn't bore you to death, but I really enjoyed showing you what I purchased, and I'd love to see photos of what you're getting. These plant hauls. Actually, I don't need to see them because then I will start adding things to my list, and I don't need that. But still, send me, post me some photos on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're buying, and tag me in them, plants and things. And yeah, also join me on the Plants and Things What's Growing page on Facebook. Share your photos there, and yeah. Until next time, you guys, happy growing.